cut the phony cheer. It doesn't suit you.
Phony cheer. I only said that I think the trial's going to be over before we know it, and that's exactly what I meant.
Is Marley ready?
Who are you kidding? Jamie is testifying today for the DA.
And we know just what he's going to say. He would never hurt Marley. I don't know. I just have a feeling that we aren't going to have any more nasty surprises.
That is the same geeky reporter.
Why don't you let me get it?
No. I'll get this jerk. You get the next one.
Darling, now be careful. You're still not well.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
We were just on our way to court.
Maybe you better read that first.
What is it? No more nasty surprises? Let's begin. Can he do this? Is this legal?
Do what? What's in that piece of paper?
The judge has barred Victoria from the courtroom unless she's appearing as a witness.
What?
Now, I don't know if the judge can do this. I don't know if it's legal. I'm going to have to talk to Cass.
It's his courtroom. He thinks that Cass had Marley and Vicky trade places.
Whose side are you on anyway?
I'm on yours, Vicky. I thought that maybe you finally believed that.
I do.
Good. I didn't want to deliver that thing. It wasn't an assignment that I wanted. I gotta go. I have to testify first up this morning.
I'll see you there.
Vicky, would you talk to her, please? Just take it easy, okay?
I think we should call Cass right away. We have rights, too.
What happened? That idiot judge says that I can't go to the courthouse.
What?
He issued a court order. He must think it's best for
I don't
everyone.
give a rat's butt what he thinks. Vicky, let's just play by the rules, okay? What are you talking about? Well, you just got home from the hospital last night. I think it would be best if you just took care of yourself.
I'll be fine.
Your sister is right. Marley's right.
I don't believe this.
Look, you should stay home, gather your strength, and we'll talk to Cass.
Maybe he can get this order reversed.
It is for the best, Vicky. I think so. I really do.
As a matter of fact, maybe we ought to go try to get in touch with Cass and Stacy. Now, there's a phone in the kitchen.
Oh.
We'll use that.
All right.
Donna? Yeah, the girls need to be alone.
Thank you. You want to do this alone? No, I don't want to, but I think it's my turn. Jamie's testifying today. I know. Think you can handle it? Are you afraid I'm going to mess things up? Vicky? Well, I don't know why you talked to... I don't even know why you told him that I went to Jake's that night. He told you? Yes, he told me right before I went into the hospital. I didn't have a choice. You don't know what happened. You weren't there. Exactly, and that's why I'm a little nervous about what's going to happen in court if I'm not there. I will handle everything. Promise you.
All rise. Circuit Court, City of Bay City is now in session. Judge Rollin Woods presiding.
You may be seated. I want a moment to instruct the jury before we proceed. I must ask each one of you to disregard the antics that went on in this courtroom when court was last in session. There was a concerted effort made to confuse you. And I want to set the record straight. There's only one young woman on trial here, and that is Marley McKinnon. She is seated at the defense table with her attorneys. Ms. Graves, you may proceed.
Your Honor, the people would like to continue with the testimony of Detective Ryan Harrison.
May I remind you, Detective Harrison, that you are still under oath?
No.
I'd like to have the court reporter read back the last question that I asked you before things began to disintegrate.
Objection. Sustained. Confine your comments to the case. Ms. Graves. We'll hear the transcript now.
I want to be perfectly clear on this. The woman who walked into that house, if she's in this courtroom, would you please point her out?
Answer the question, Detective.
Yeah, she's right there. Seated next to her lawyer, Cass Winthrop.
Let the record show that Detective Harrison has just identified the defendant, Marley McKinnon. Now, you've already testified in an earlier statement that Jake McKinnon received a gunshot wound to the chest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was the bullet retrieved?
Yes.
And what did the ballistics tests reveal?
That Jake McKinnon had been shot by a gun registered to him.
Was this weapon known to be on the premises?
Yes, he had told his landlord, as well as his neighbor, that he had bought a gun. His loft had recently been broken into, and that he was keeping the gun on the premises.
And were there any fingerprints on the gun?
No, it had been wiped clean.
At this time, the people would like to enter into evidence several items. The first is this woman's ring and the diamond that has become dislodged from it.
Please note that this is People's Exhibit A.
Detective, is this the ring and the stone that you found at Jake's loft?
Yes, it is.
And was the stone in its mounting when you found it?
No,
Where was it?
it was on the floor.
How about the setting? Would you please describe its condition?
The stone was out. The two little prongs that hold it had been broken off.
Now, this is an expensive ring. It seems to me that it would be pretty hard to break it unless perhaps it had been thrown with some force.
Objection. Calls for a conclusion.
Sustained.
Has the ownership of the ring been established?
Yes, Marley McKinnon identified it as the engagement ring that Jake McKinnon had given to her.
The coat in this photograph, where did you find it?
Marley McKinnon gave it to me.
When presented with a court order.
Yes.
Was she wearing this coat when she went to see Jake that night?
We have a statement to that effect, yes.
And when did you become aware of the substance on the hem of the coat?
The lab picked it up.
Now, this is an enlargement showing the area of the coat that was affected. Was the lab able to identify the substance?
Yes.
And what is it?
Blood.
Whose blood, Detective Harrison?
Answer the question, please.
It's Jake McKinnon's blood.
And the hairs that were found on Jake McKinnon's clothing, was a positive match obtained?
Yes.
Whose hairs were they?
The hair that is in evidence belongs to Marley McKinnon.
Good boy.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you later.
You've already testified that Marley McKinnon's sister, Victoria Hudson, was very protective of Ms. McKinnon when you first went to question her. Is that correct?
I said that?
I can have your answer read back to you from the transcript if you'd like.
Oh, that's okay.
How did Ms. McKinnon seem to you when you were finally able to question her?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is not a psychologist.
No, but he is a police detective who is trained to make certain types of observations. I'll allow the question.
Detective?
She was, upset.
Upset?
Didn't I just say that?
How upset?
Objection.
Sustained.
All right. When Marley McKinnon finally came home and agreed to speak to you, was her statement complete?
No.
What events of the evening did she omit?
She was able to clear that up later.
I'm not talking about later, Detective. I'm talking about the night that Jake McKinnon was shot. Now, what part of her statement did she omit then?
That she had struggled with Jake McKinnon physically.
So she was upset, but not too upset to try to cover for herself.
Objection.
Sustained.
No further questions. Your witness.
The district attorney has established that Marley McKinnon didn't tell you at first that she struggled with Jake the night he was shot. When she clarified her statement, what did she say?
That she and Jake had fought. Had a physical fight.
Why?
She was afraid that Jake was going to rape her.
So Marley McKinnon's mental state, this upset that you spoke of, could it have been caused by Jake's actions and not her own?
Objection.
Your Honor, the district attorney has tried to interpret my client's behavior. I'm just trying to establish that her interpretation is open to question.
I'll allow the witness to answer. You're overruled, Ms. Graves.
Could you please restate the question?
Yes, of course. Could Marley McKinnon's mental state and her attempt to cover up the fact that she struggled with Jake be a result of the shame and humiliation she felt after she realized that a man she once loved had tried to rape her.
Yes, it could.
The coat that was entered into evidence, the one with blood on it, was the blood stain localized, or did it cover a wide area?
There's one spot on the hem.
So it's fair to say it was localized.
Yes, that's accurate.
The scene of the crime, was Jake's blood in evidence there?
Yes.
How much?
He'd lost an awful lot of blood before the paramedics arrived.
Objection.
You entered the coat into evidence, but you didn't prove conclusively where or when it was worn.
Overruled, Ms. Graves.
Could someone have gotten Jake's blood on this coat after he was shot?
Yes, it's quite possible.
You testified that Jake informed his landlord and his neighbor that he had purchased a gun. Is that correct?
Yes.
I assume that you also questioned other people about this gun.
Yes, I did.
Who else knew that Jake kept a gun in his loft?
It was Marla McKinnon, her sister Victoria Hudson, Iris Wheeler, Paulina Corey, and Donna Hudson.
And of these people, how many were fond of Jake McKinnon?
Objection.
Sustained.
I withdraw the question. These hairs that turned up on Jake's clothing, how was a match obtained?
Through DNA testing.
So from this, you were able to ascertain conclusively that the hair belonged to Marley McKinnon.
Yes.
If a person exists that has Marley McKinnon's exact genetic makeup, could this test make a differentiation between the two?
No, supposedly it can't.
Does Marley McKinnon have a twin sister?
Objection. Look, the witness is a cop, not a genetics expert.
Sustained.
No further questions. But the defense does reserve the right to recall Detective Harrison if need be.
Cash, you nailed her. She was busting a gut over there.
It's about time.
Excellent.
You okay, Marley?
Beautiful.
Any redirect, Ms. Graves?
Yes, Your Honor. Detective, is there any kind of corroborating evidence to back up the statement that Marley McKinnon has made that she is the victim of attempted rape?
No.
No further questions.
You may step down. People may call the next witness.
The people call Dr. Jamie Frame.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. State your name, please. Jamie Frame.
Be seated. I have a matter of pressing importance which requires my immediate attention. I'd like to attend to it now before questioning begins. Unless counsel has any objection, I'd like to call a 10-minute recess.
No problem, Your Honor.
Court is in recess for 10 minutes.
All rise.
How do you think it's going?
The cast has made a very strong case for Marley's point of view of how it went that night.
No, because Marley's point of view just happens to be the truth.
Yeah, well, you know that, and I know that, but does the jury know that?
So where's Frankie?
Getting something concrete, I hope.
What do you mean? You were terrific on Cross. You blew Morgan away.
It was all done with smoke and mirrors. Just between you and me, I'm dreading what's coming up.
Oh, Cass.
Oh,
Cass,
good.
Frankie, look.
Oh, my.
Oh, look at that. What?
Frankie,
Yeah,
your
I know.
hair. It's so heavily
Yeah,
constructed.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. I
Talk
haven't
about
get the goods for you guys. What goods?
I was here. I'm on to phase 2.
What are you two talking about?
Hey, Ryan was actually helpful on the stand today.
He was?
Yeah. He said that the hair and evidence belongs to Marley.
Oh, that's great.
What are you two talking about? What are you doing with a bag of hair? And why does your hair look like that?
Listen,
No offense,
Ryan's
but
right
it's
over
not
there.
your
Maybe I
style.
should talk to him. He could maybe speed this up.
No, look, let me do it. I have a way with this guy.
I'll be inside.
Okay. Hello.
I'm sorry, I thought you were someone that I knew.
Look, I need a favor from you.
Forget it.
It's legal this time.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you need?
I need you to speed up the process of testing the hairs that were found on Jake's clothing. One of the hairs that wasn't tested belongs to another blonde. I know it.
Marley, honey, I know this is difficult. Don't worry. The DA is just making her case. She's trying to make everything sound as bad as she possibly can.
And Cass made an excellent rebuttal.
I know.
I'm just sorry that Jamie has to testify.
Well, I'd rather have him up there than some strange doctor who doesn't even know you.
What is Morgan Grace going to say to him? What is she going to do to his career?
Jamie can take care of himself.
What if he doesn't? What if he only tries to take care of me?
Marley, please.
Darling, do you want to go call Victoria?
I just want some air. I'm getting out of here.
Marley?
Donna, let it go. She'll be all right. Look, I gotta try and find Stacy and talk to her. I'll be back.
Hello, Michael.
Did you enjoy your hairdressing appointment?
Well, how did you know I went to the hairdresser?
Oh, Iris, I know everything. Don't you forget it.
Well, Donna, how are things going?
Fine, just fine.
Well, Cass is very good, and I'm sure now that he has Stacy helping him.
Yes?
Was that Michael's idea, Stacy? I mean,
What are you getting at, Iris?
oh, nothing. It's just that I saw them laughing and talking. You know, at Sassy's, and I'm sure they were working on the case.
Yes, I'm sure they were. Michael was very deeply involved in Marley's defense.
I could tell. Good luck, Donna.
Hello, Iris.
Ready to go in? Grant?
Why don't you go ahead? I'll be in a second, all right?
Sure. Do you really think it's wise, darling, dragging that creature out in public?
Hey, what the hell are you doing here? I want you out of this courthouse now.
I came here to generate support for your daughter since she and Jamie are the ones who located the doctor that saved my life.
Yeah, and you pay her back by pushing the DA to have a field day with her case. I want you out.
Look, it's no big deal. And it could get Marley off, not to mention Vicky.
All right, give me the samples that you collected. I'll have the lab tests run myself.
Promise?
Promise.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Are they clearly marked?
Of course they are.
Don't mention it. Hey, and I mean that.
Okay.
Frankie,
Yeah?
your hair looks really stupid.
But you get out of here, okay?
How'd it go?
He's going to get the test run. With any luck, you should have something concrete very soon.
Well, that's great. Listen, I gotta get back inside. Court's about to reconvene, okay?
Okay, I love you. I'll see you inside, okay?
Yeah, honey,
Yeah?
do something with your hair first, okay?
Okay.
Your Honor, please let it be entered into the record that Dr. Frame is to be classified as a hostile witness.
It is so noted.
Dr. Frame, when did you first begin treating Jake McKinnon?
It was on the night of October 25th. I was on call when he was admitted.
And what was his condition?
In my opinion, he was near death.
Describe his injury, will you please?
Jake had suffered a gunshot wound. The bullet had entered his chest just below the sternum and traveled upward, causing damage to the liver and the pericardium. It lodged near the spinal cord, and he lost a great deal of blood.
Mm-hmm. Do these pictures accurately portray Mr. McKinnon's injury?
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Don't let her see those.
So you were there when he lapsed into the coma.
Yes.
Do you recall if he said anything before losing consciousness?
Yes. Just one word.
Please tell the court what that was. Dr. Frame,
He said Marley.
is that all?
Yes.
He didn't say, for example, it was Marley?
No, he never said that.
Objection.
Do you recognize this, Dr. Frame?
Yes, of course. It's a copy of my hotel bill, niece.
Mm-hmm. And how about this?
Yes. That's Marley's bill.
You were there at the same time.
It was a
At the same
coincidence.
hotel.
We weren't in the same room.
The witness is instructed to confine his answers to the question.
Yes. We were there at the same time.
Did you have any contact with the defendant while you were in Nice?
Yes.
Describe it, please.
We had dinner a few times. I also took her shopping.
That's all? No walks on the beach, no romantic little inn?
Objection. This line of questioning is totally irrelevant.
This line of questioning is essential, and I will establish a connection shortly, Your Honor.
Proceed.
What was your relationship with the defendant before the trip to France?
Marley and I had been friends.
Well, she was your sister-in-law at one time, yes? She, or rather her sister, Victoria Hudson, was your wife and is the mother of your son.
Yes, yes.
Now, after Nice, did your relationship change?
For me. Not for Marley.
Oh, come on now, Dr. Frame, you're too modest. Isn't it true that you swept Marley McKinnon off her feet?
No.
That she returned to Bay City passionately involved with you and wanting Jake McKinnon out of her life forever?
No.
Objection.
You are twisting everything
Marley,
around. Just
Marley.
leave it alone.
Marley.
The defendant is instructed to sit down and be silent.
Well, well, well. So this is the quiet, sweet little twin. The one with no temper. I wonder what Jake McKinnon would have to say about that.
Objection.